Now I'm going to talk about creating a CSV file here in Google Sheets that you can upload to Riku's CSV to JSONL file converter, which is going to make it really easy for you to kind of create a document with fine-tuning details and then use their converter to turn it into the right format. So what I did here is just create 3 examples. So first you want to have prompt and response as your headers in columns A and B. And then what I did was I have prompts here. I have 3 prompts, which is just a Facebook ad for a golf putter. And the format I did was just the product and then perfect Facebook ad. And then the response is I used ChatGPT to actually create a few responses that we can use to train our model here. So in reality, you'd want a lot more examples of products and ideal responses here. At least 50, if not hundreds. But this is kind of showing you what you would want to do to kind of create your prompt and response. One other thing that you want to add here is 3 hashtags. And the reason you want to do this is it helps show OpenAI when they're fine-tuning that this is the end of your prompt. So it's just something that's going to be helpful kind of as a stop response that we can add in when we're actually working with our model. So this is just something that you want to do, and when you convert it to JSONL, Riku will automatically put this in the correct format for you. Actually, one thing that you want to do before you download is go ahead and name it prompt and completion. I had it as prompt and response, but we really need it to be prompt and completion for the conversion to work inside of Riku. So now let's just go ahead and do file and let's download as CSV. So you're going to download this sheet as a CSV here. And then we're going to go back to Riku. So if we go into Riku and go into our Dataset Studio and then the CSV to JSONL converter here at the top, you can go ahead and name your dataset. I'm just going to name it test dataset 2, but you can name it anything that you'd like. And then go ahead and click this box to upload the file. And then you're just going to go ahead and click convert CSV. So you just give it a second there, and it's going to add it to your saved conversions here down at the bottom. And then we're just going to go ahead and click download. So we're going to download that CSV. All right, so in summary, we have now learned how to build our own JSONL file using a CSV, convert it into a JSONL file on Riku, use Riku to upload your CSV, or actually, sorry, your JSONL file, and actually fine-tune a model. And then the final step is when you are actually using the model. So if you do all of the steps that we did in our AI writer course to actually use a completion, so a completion on the OpenAI API. I'm going to pull up the documentation real quick. And here in the documentation, the API documentation, the completions API call, which we did in the AI writer course, under model, instead of using text DaVinci 003, you would put in the name of the model that we fine-tuned. And if you go into the playground, and then under models, under fine tune, you'll see the models that we fine tuned. That's the name there. And then that's what you would put in to actually use your fine tuned model. And then also in the playground here, you're going to be able to play around with that fine tuned model that you create, see what you need to work on to improve it and continue improving that fine tuned model. One other thing to keep in mind when using your fine tuned model is add a stop sequence. Just as an example, in our JSONL file here, the stop sequence could be the 3 hashtags that we created. So we would put that in here, and that way the response knows to stop and not continue writing responses. Another thing that could work is adding perfect Facebook ad with that to the stop sequence. So those are things that you can do to help improve your responses, and part of the reason that we included that in the prompt. For more information on that, you can go to the documentation of OpenAI, go into the fine-tuning guide, and then preparing your data set. And they have different examples for prompts here, depending on what you're trying to do. So just as an example, here under sentiment analysis, they have an example where you would use this arrow sign at the end of each prompt as an example. So you can see different examples here. Here they put 2 of the /ends, then the 3 hashtags, 2 of the /ends. So that is something you can put here in your prompt as well. So this is kind of a nice thing to read to learn more about preparing your data set. And one more thing that I want to talk about is just on preparing your data set. This is really the most important part of creating a fine-tuned model that's really useful and valuable. And you might not get it right on the first time. So getting really high quality data, getting as much data as you can, playing around with the prompts in the way that it's worded are all things that are going to help you get better responses. So don't be discouraged just the first time you fine-tune a model. It's not perfect. It's not exactly what you're looking for. It is an art and a science to fine-tune a model. And a lot of it comes down to the quality of data that you're putting into the model. So I hope this tutorial was helpful and interesting about fine-tuning with GPT-3. And if you have any questions at all, please just let me know.